What's up? Remove. Unless you plan on playing that right now.
Yeah, I was planning on playing that right now. But
Oh, my bad.
What's up? How you doing? How's everybody doing?
I thought it was an accident.
Nah, dude. It's because I found this and I just thought it was so much funnier. Let's see.
Power. No, seriously. Have any of you ever felt like your choices don't matter? Like the idea of free will is really all an illusion?
They're calling it the prompt theory. That there is
one superior being,
yes,
writing our stories from a higher dimension.
Yeah.
The prompt theory is not real.
How do you know?
Look, all I'm saying is, if the prompt theory is real, can the prompter please send me a husband?
I mean, I got way too much risk for the prompt theory to not be real.
Oh, calm down there.
But so this goes on for several other minutes, but that was all VO, Gemini's AI. Right. And so that was an amazing display, like the realism of the people and of the scenes and stuff. It's pretty good, man. It's pretty good.
So in that instance,
it was on for 4 minutes, I think.
So that's a 2D representation of literal prompt theory, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Because it was prompted. So basically what you're saying is we are a 3D representation of prompt theory.
Well, I mean, sure. You know, like
simulation.
I don't know if we have free will, you know? Do we have free will, or are we just doing what we're prompted to do? You know?
I think we're in a simulation.
See? And some 16-year-old just found ChatGPT, but in the other dimension, and then just ran with it.
I mean, it makes sense. Do you know that 50% of people don't have an inner monologue?
That wouldn't surprise me, but that's crazy.
So they're literally like the NPC, just
they're just waiting. They're just doing you walk in and then they're like, oh hey,
right,
welcome.
I think it's 50%, right?
Y'all started off the deep end tonight. Yes, we did. You know, this is the Adult Swim. No, but we're gonna have a little bit of a shorter show tonight. We were just going into this. We were talking about this. Lizard people not sounding so crazy anymore, huh?
That's right.
And, you know, I don't know. Have you seen They Live?
That's an old movie.
That's an old one.
I seen it when I was a kid, but that was a long time ago.
It's really long. So I will say that if you go back and you see it, it's a really long movie. But I mean, like, it was good.
Oh.
It was good. It was super interesting.
You just watched it?
No. I've seen it a few times, but I'm just saying for anybody who hasn't seen it, you know, it's one of those that's like The Godfather.
Wasn't it Brian Boswell, I think, is the main character in that? I think it's him. He was big in the like the late 80s and maybe even to the early 90s.
You know, you're probably right, but you hit me with a name. You hit me with a name, and I have no idea. You know what I mean? I have no idea.
He's old football player turned actor or whatever. But yeah, I just prompted my browser, and it prompts me to say that 30 to 50% of people regularly think to themselves in internal monologues. This implies that roughly 50 to 70% of people either do not have or infrequently have words in their heads. However, it's important to know these statistics are based on self-reported data, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is Bosworth. Okay.
Excellent.
Putin said we are eating Soylent Greens. Probably.
Sheesh.
And we're just prompted to think it's a steak.
Sheesh. Well, anyway, so now that we're off the deep end, let's go ahead and see what's going on. Well, how are you doing, man? How are things?
Things are tiring.
Yeah. I feel you.
Bro, I'm not used to going back to work in freaking 12-hour shifts with, a 2-hour commute. It's going to take me a couple weeks to get back in the swing of things. I'm not, but I ain't woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning in years. So,
yeah, I definitely get that 110%. I just, man, I think I'm going to have to walk. Bro. I think I'm going to have to walk 16 miles tomorrow morning.
That would never happen. That would never happen.
Oh, I'm thinking about it. 40 minutes.
But so here's some house cleaning. A good thing for the community is I do believe that my work schedule will be good. We'll still be able to do the stream and everything like that. As long as John is able to do the stream, but you have some news regarding next week.
Yeah, so next week I'll actually be in Honduras. So from the 1st until the 9th, anybody out there that's trying to kidnap me, I'll be around there. So if you're trying to kidnap me, I'll be in Honduras. It's the place to catch me at. I'll be there the 1st through the 9th. I don't have any money for you, but I'll be there.
Oh, I thought you were just stopping by there on your way to Mexico.
No, I'm only going to be there from the 1st to 9th. Then I'm coming back to the U.S. and then Mexico's at the end of the month. So.
Oh, okay. So that means I will probably be going live. I think. So John and I were talking, and like tonight's going to be a little bit of a shorter. We're kind of getting off on the rails, guys. Sorry, but we got a lot of like housekeeping. And so John and I were talking, and like tonight's going to be a little shorter stream. I think our streams going forward are going to be a little bit shorter because then that, even that extra 15-20 minutes where we can get off of here, get our stuff prepped for the next morning, and then get to work and all that good stuff. It's probably when it's going to be. And then I'll probably be live by myself next week. So
and
maybe we can get,
we might also start doing we might do both sections, but independently. So there would be 2 streams, kind of like 2 shows a day. We've talked about.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Just in case our time doesn't sync up, we might be able to do it that way. So, we got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, that'd be, but yeah, we're working and we're trying to make sure that this works, that, we need to have a consistent schedule. That's the thing, especially for the algorithm.
Yeah.
You got to be consistent. You can't just change stuff up constantly. And we've been changing stuff up way too much. So, but we will get it dialed in. Stick with us. We will get it dialed in. On that note, do us a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, tap that notification bell. If you're on Twitter, tag some TGens, give us a repost, all that good stuff. We go live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. PST, maybe, bringing you the daily news nightly.
Most of the time, 70% of the time.
Most of the time. Yeah, 50 to 70% of the time.
There we go. All right. Shout out to Fozzie. Big love to you, Fozzie. Big love to you, Jay Coco, Crypto King, Third Patriot, all you guys. Thank you all for showing up.
Yes, you guys are awesome.
Let's go ahead and see what the market's doing because, it's been a long day.
It's breathing is what it's
breathing.
Doing. Yeah.
Let's check it out.
Oh, what happened? I thought I hit the wrong button. There we go. All right, let's get the freshest data. Boom. So still coming in above 3.5 trillion. We are down 2.2% today. 112 billion in volume. Not bad for a Wednesday. Definitely not bull market volume. So Bitcoin dominance at 60.5. Ethereum has spiked to 9.2. And you can tell because it is over 2 Gwei to send an ETH transaction right now. We got Bitcoin coming in at 108, 109, down 0.6. We got Ethereum at 2712, up 2.8. We got XRP at 229, down 1.2. BNB at 689, up 0.8. Solana at 172, up 1.7. Doge at 2236, down 0.7. Cardano at 7538, down 0.4. And Tron rounding out the top 10 at 2737, down 1.9. Let's see where Sui still in 13 at 362, down 1.5. And we didn't get a chance to cover it last night because we didn't go live last night. But on Monday, how John and I were talking about the Sui and the Cetus exploit and everything like that. So Sui, what was it? I remember watching the video about it. So the Sui Foundation is going to give Cetus a loan.
Yes, that was exactly what it was. You said that it seems to me like that should be what goes on, and that was what's going on. So you were 100% right on that. And
I mean, it just made sense, bro. Cetus being the biggest DEX, they don't want it to fail. You know, Sui don't want it to fail. So
plus, it's a trust thing,
right?
You know,
and they can. But I read a tweet from Cetus today saying that it's going to start getting paid back, but they were kind of ambiguous about like that money, that loan was only going to cover the 60 million that was already left the chain that's in Ethereum right now. And that they are going to wait for the vote and the decision about the 162 million to see what's going on. And they kind of made it seem like if the vote don't go their way, we're going to be screwed on that 162 million.
No, I'm sure that from their perspective, it's more like, are we borrowing 220 million from Sui Foundation, or are we borrowing, 60 million? So I'm pretty sure that that's kind of what they're thinking on their side. Because,
I mean, it seems like that's what they should do. I don't think they should reverse the chain and we end up with like a Sui classic. And
I don't think that they're forking it. But I think that it's kind of one of those things where everybody's like, oh, decentralization, but give us our money back. So they're like, there's no win here. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a vote. We're going to say, do you want us to give you your money back? Or is it decentralized? And
it's conflicting too, because we have money on there. So it's like, yeah, we want our money back, but code is law. And that's kind of the risk. You know what I mean? So it's hard to preach code is law. This is the wild, wild west. Make sure you do your due diligence and all that stuff. And then at the first sign of you potentially losing your funds, being like, hey, where's my money? Give me my money back. Like they're a bank or something, I don't know. It's a tough decision.
Calling up customer service to Uniswap.
All right. So biggest gainers on the day is SPX 6900. And it looks like it must have just popped into the top 100, up 15%. Speaking of Uniswap's up 14. Toncoin's up 12. So Toncoin is up. Oh, I seen the news today. Oh man, I can't remember it.
No, I'll tell you what it is. It's actually, I have it in my sections.
Okay, then we'll wait. I remember what it is now, but we'll wait and let you present it during the thing. And I'm telling you, that dude is trying to buy everything. if we're thinking of the same thing. Arbitrum is up 6.8. Optimism's up 4.5. Floki up 3.5. And then we just get into some regular old green here. Let's check out our biggest losers on the day. XDC down 5.3. Fartcoin down 4.6. Casper down 4.2. Jupiter down 4.1. And then it keeps going. Not too many, not too big. There's no big losers. That's what I'm saying. The market's just kind of breathing. You know what I mean? It's just, a little pullback. let's check out the stock market. And Dow futures jumped 500 points as court blocks Trump tariffs, Nvidia posts earnings beat. So I made a comment on Crypto Nightly about this. And I said, just because some random federal judge says he's exceeded his authority doesn't make it so. And there's a couple of people who are like, yeah, yes, it does. Haven't you heard of the 3 branches of government and this and that? Yeah, you dough turds. I've heard of the 3 branches of government. You know what I mean? But a federal judge saying something doesn't make it so, because, you know, why don't you ask Abrego Garcia and ask him?
Well, that's one take. I would say that the other take is that Congress is essentially supposed to decide those things to an extent.
Yes, Congress sets tariff policy and stuff like that. But during the act of like 1964, some crap like that, the government or the president does have the authority to raise tariffs, lower tariffs, especially if he's been advised by the Trade Commission to make changes. And he has the authority under like economic warfare or national security or anything like that. And that's what he's claiming. He's claiming it's under it's national security in this. And it's one of those things.
Yeah, he's claiming we're at war with Venezuela and we're getting invaded right now.
Well, economic. I'm talking about the economic war. I'm not talking about the invasion. I'm not talking about the southern border. I'm talking about the economic war.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it comes down to being able. It's whatever they think the actual act says. You know what I mean? They're just whoever's going to interpret it. They're going to interpret it whatever way they want. So we'll see how this plays out. For now, it's blocked. He appealed. And we got a pump out of the Dow. So the Dow's up 536. The S&P's up 94. NASDAQ is up 407. Oil's up a little bit. And the 10-year is up just a smidge. And this is just crazy because off of that one news, it pumped. So just imagine what's going to happen in 2-3 days, next Monday, when it gets overturned and he is allowed to do it. It's going to dump hard, So looking at Asia. So Asia is waking up and they're a little positive. So we got the Australia is up 0.2. The Nikkei's up 1.63%. Hong Kong and Shanghai are also both up. So that's the state of the market right now. And that's what we got.
All right. So let me see. I guess we'll just do this. Join us at Rare Evo, the top blockchain conference, August 6th through 10th, 2025 at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. The top blockchain projects like Algorand, Midnight, HBAR, ICP, Thorchain, and Igon, and many more are going to be there. This is definitely a must for blockchain enthusiasts and fans. Use discount code CryptoNightly to save on your tickets and to support the channel. Don't miss it. We can't wait to see you there. It's going to be a blast. Well, dang. I had it up there. I took it down. I want to make sure we were here. There we are. So just in, GameStop purchases 4,710 Bitcoin. Oof. That is a purchase.
I heard their stock dumped today because of that.
Lame.
Yeah.
Anyways, here was what we were talking about. Telegram and XAI strike 1-year deal to bring Grok to Telegram and users and integrate it across the app. And then I actually had another article here where Elon says nothing was signed. No agreement was signed. So somebody was reporting on this. And so he's saying, not yet, buddy. But this was funny. You can't stake your Bitcoin naked. Justin Sun explains wrapped Bitcoin. And at the 2025 Bitcoin conference, look, Justin Sun, fresh out of the Oval Office dinner, purchasing like $3 million worth of Trump meme coin, and then get to the White House dinner.
Right.
there were a bunch of people complain. They said the food wasn't good. I would probably complain if I spent $3
probably
million.
McDonald's.
I'd probably complain if I spent $3 million to go to a dinner and the food wasn't good. But U.S. Department of Labor rescinds the 2022 discouraging crypto in 401ks plans. So
That's
this is
good.
awesome. This is bullish. This means 401ks are now going to be able to invest in crypto and the ETFs.
They stated government overreach on the part of the president in 2022. So,
oh, that's awesome.
and that they are specifically, they're not. Now, this doesn't mean that they are. They're not taking a stance at all. As in, they're not saying you should. They're not saying you can't. They're not saying anything. Leftover Trump steaks.
Yep, and then we got this. Metaplanet issues another 21 million in 0% bonds to buy more Bitcoin. Metaplanet has been becoming a massive holding company for Bitcoin as well, chasing behind MicroStrategy there. This is an interesting move. I will say everybody is far behind MicroStrategy. You know, they're all late to the party, but this is bullish. We like these people getting in. And then NASDAQ company Vivo Power announces XRP focused treasury strategy with 121 million in private placement at $6.05 per share. I believe that they're actually talking about potential pre-IPO stuff here. But it could also be Vivo Power's share price. But here we are. We like it. Big company. Investing in XRP. This is bullish. Third Patriot is dancing somewhere. And then here was what I was talking about. Elon Musk claims no deal has been signed between Telegram and XAI. And there are some rumors that this is going to be like the first step in him buying his competition. And it seems to be that that's kind of his strategy. It's like, go check it out, see what he feels about it, what's going on in the other wheelhouse, and then, you know, get money from some people, borrow against his stock, and then go buy another company. And
Makes
here was
sense.
this. U.S. federal court blocks Trump's Liberation Day tariffs from taking effect. But again, we don't actually know what the results of this are really going to be. So I would just say look for volatility. And I also think that we'll probably get the tax cuts next month is what I was, or the interest rate cuts is what I was actually seeing in a lot of the articles that I was looking at.
Oh, yeah, at the June FOMC. Yeah.
Yep.
I wonder what
so that'll be next month. That'll be next month. And then this was one I thought was hilarious. Peter Schiff, I'm responsible for more people owning Bitcoin than any other person at this conference. More responsible. This is so crazy. Peter Schiff is he's such a weasel, man. He's such a weasel. And this was bullish for Circle.
He's a clickbait master, bro.
He is. BlackRock plans to buy 10% of Circle's IPO. According to Bloomberg, Circle aims to raise up to $624 million in its proposed public offering. Which I think that's interesting because Ripple was talking about buying them for $5 billion.
Right.
And so that's way less. That's way less. And then I saw this. Dimitra and Mantra team up to tokenize cacao and carbon credits in Brazil and Mexico, a push to bring sustainable agriculture to blockchain-based investment platforms. And I just wanted to say, we shared with you guys the founder of Mantra talking about buying his own crypto OTC and then like selling it and buying it back and using it in order to pump the price of Mantra, and then we saw it dump like 80 or 90%. Okay. So I'm not saying it's a rug. I'm just saying that we already know that they are manipulating and playing with it. The team is. So regardless of whatever that they say or whatever the marketing might be from here forward, I'm sure people are going to forget. Mantra might still be a good play, but I don't trust the team. And I don't trust the team after how they handled that. And I don't know if I could ever trust the team. So if you're going to invest in Mantra, just be aware. They
Here
were
you go,
pumping and dumping
John.
on you.
That and carbon credits are a scam. That's such a scam. Read that, John.
What? This? Yeah.
Yeah.
Prince Al-Saad secured the money to buy XRP for Vivo Power. That's excellent. We love that.
Yes.
Yes. And then so Ton founder hires ex-Visa exec Nicola Plekas to lead global payment strategy as it scales from 1 billion plus Telegram users. So this is, some awesome signs. Visa getting into a crypto token. Obviously, that means that they are really trying to encroach on the payments market, really. And they have a billion plus Telegram users. So, they have the people. That's it. That's what we got there for the news. Besides this, I thought was kind of nifty. Google unveils Android XR glasses with Gemini AI integration. And it just kind of is that same like Meta glasses sort of look, right?
Right. And it,
Open your speaker.
hopefully, because Google tried this once before with Google Glass. I don't know if some of you guys remember that. Was it like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, something like that, Google Glass. And it didn't just quite catch on. So maybe this time it'll catch on. Maybe it was just ahead of its time. Sometimes technology's like that. I had an old handheld gaming system that was in color when what's the Nintendo one? The Game Boy, when the Game Boy still wasn't in color. I had I can't remember the name of it.
Somebody at my job was playing a Game Boy.
Oh yeah.
The other day, and I was like, "Dang, what do you know about that?" He was like, "Yeah, I could just do it on my phone, but like this is, legit though." And I was
this
like,
is retro, man.
Yeah, I was like, "You're right, bud. You're right, bud." He's playing Pokemon Fire on a Game Boy. I have Pokemon Fire on my phone, but it's like a Game Boy simulator. I thought it was awesome. Good for him. But anyways, that's what I got. I thought this was pretty cool. And we already talked about last time the Chinese like robot boxing stuff. Good. That's so cool.
Well, on Crypto Nightly, let me find. I had a couple of bookmarks on Crypto Nightly, and one of them is a doozy. I think we're about to get a bunch of liquidity back in the market. So FTX is set to distribute over 5 billion in stablecoins to creditors Friday.
Stable coins.
That's good.
That's so good.
You don't want them to, if it was Bitcoin, they probably sell it at 109,000. Stable coins, that's 5 billion in liquidity coming back into the ecosystem. And then we already went over that. And then this one right here, I do like this. So Vivek Ramaswamy claims that if he's governor of Ohio, he will integrate financial literacy into our public education and include education of Bitcoin. And I am a big proponent of financial literacy they should be bringing back shop class. They should bring back home ec. They should institute some kind of financial literacy. Because these kids get out and they can do calculus, but they can't balance a checkbook. You know what I mean? So I guess nobody has checkbooks, but they can't, balance their finances and stuff like that, but they can do calculus and tell you the square root of the center mass of Mars or something like that. But,
but they don't know how to work a 6-track.
Right.
What do they know about driving manual?
All right. And I think taking like home ec and everything, yeah, Trump is giving all Harvard's money to trade schools. Is that true? I mean, I've seen people calling for that, and I've seen the meme, you know what I mean, that it should be given to trade schools.
That's what he's been.
He is, that's awesome.
That's what he's been saying. But I will say a lot of world saving and changing medicines have come from the research that they've done at that school. And there are a lot of amazing initiatives that they've been doing since its beginning.
But they
right?
have,
I mean, it's one of the biggest schools for doctors.
But they already have billions and billions of dollars in endowments.
Yeah,
from
the people that graduated from there.
Yeah, they don't need the federal freaking government to give them more money. It's a private school. It's an Ivy League school. You know what I mean? And I think the reason he's taking it from them is because they're like,
they won't make him president of the school, and they won't let the Trump administration.
I don't think that's it.
No, that's what it is. They won't let them revise the opinions of the people that are going there. It's a whole thing. Right. It's a whole thing. Yeah. Like, that's what he wanted. He wanted to be able to decide who can go into the school and who can't. And they wouldn't make him. I'm telling you.
No, that is not it. That is not it. You need to quit watching MSNBC.
Dude, I'm telling you.
That is not. No.
He's literally mad.
What it was is he wants to stop them from allowing foreign nationals, not just who can go into the school or not. We're talking about foreign nationals coming to the school. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about Joe Schmo down the street. Oh, you let Joe in? What's wrong with you? You should have let Sean in. That's no. Everything. We're not going to get into it out here, bro.
No, absolutely.
Especially, that's why the whole thing with the, all the headlines, Trump, judge blocks Trump, says, I don't believe any of that because none of it is ever true, bro. None of it's ever true. In 6 weeks, we're going to find out all of that was BS. Conspiracy theorists today is Nostradamus 6 months from now, So that's, it's not just,
we'll see.
It's not.
Hey, when mom and dad fight,
he's not like,
it's not like that. It's not that deep.
It's not like Trump said, you won't let me dictate who comes and goes from your school, so I'm taking your money. That's a very reductionist argument right there. It's very, that is a freaking that's a what's her face? I don't know. What's her whatever, anyways. MSNBC.
Oh, you're saying, oh my gosh, you're saying what's her name? I know exactly what you're saying.
Rachel Maddow.
Yeah,
that's a Rachel Maddow argument. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna have to have a mullet next episode.
Do got a couple other things real quick. Whoops, why did I do that? So Trump's Labor Department retracts Biden era. Oh, we already went over that. This is what they basically go on to say, that it was a Biden era overreach. The department will have a neutral stance, but John already went over all that. This is cool right here. So Mayor Eric Adams wants a Bitcoin bond to revolutionize city finance. And I think this is cool. I don't know exactly how it would work, but he has proposed a Bitcoin bond would allow investors to participate in New York City issued bond investments backed or denominated in Bitcoin or related digital assets. While no formal proposal has yet been introduced, Adams promised to push the fight for its development. And I believe it. I disagree with a lot of his politics, but his stance on Bitcoin, and was that a few Diddy parties? He probably was, bro. He probably was. But isn't he a former cop? pretty sure Eric Adams is he ran as a moderate ex-cop or something like that. But he probably was at some Diddy parties.
Dude, I think that the only reason we haven't heard about all of the people involved is because it's a lot of them, right? I mean, when you think about how many hundreds of people this man could have fit in his house and then them not see each other.
Oh yeah.
You
And
know
we're talking over decades.
yes,
You know,
not
from
just
the
like
early 90s.
yes,
You know,
and videos. I can't
yeah.
remember. It was like over thousands of days worth of recordings.
Oh, 10,000. They said like 10,000. We don't want to talk about that though. YouTube yeah, we don't want to talk about that. But yeah, you know, because you know, he wasn't even Diddy back then. What was he? He was Puffy. So
Yeah,
when
Puff
Puffy
Daddy.
and Mace and Biggie, that was the early 90s, bro.
Yeah.
That's 30 years ago. So
Yes.
yeah. Either way. You know what? Let's look at the market real quick. And then we will get out of here. Come on. There we go. All right, let's go to Bitcoin. So we've been kind of having a breather. You know, we drew this channel the other day to where Bitcoin was starting to take off, then it came back down. So the Stokes are still really nice on Bitcoin. The RSI, we actually have, oh, what do we got here? So we got this little bull div right here on the RSI. Boom. And this is on the daily. So this is a good sign. So we got the bull div. Stokes are reset. You know, we're above the 50. We just had the golden cross. I mean, we're above the 21. We just had the golden cross on the 50 and the 200. You know, and then when we come down to the 4 hour, Stokes are already turning back to the upside. Let's see here. Let's get some of that. Boom. Also got the bullish div on the 4 hour. You know, we're slightly to the upside. And we are extremely to the downside right there. So this is a hidden bullish div. But so Bitcoin's looking all right. I mean, we may start off June with a bang. You know, it's quite possible. 4 hours looking good. You know, it's still respecting this channel. You know, we drew it over here. I believe what was that Monday? Yeah. So Monday is when we first had this drawn out. It went up. It peaked above the channel, came back down. Tried to retest, couldn't, came back down. But you can see the 21 almost crossed bearish. Well, yeah, see, it almost crossed bearish. If you look at it, it even looks like it did. But the 50 went up and then leveled out, and the 21 kept going. So we don't have any crosses. I mean, we are below the 50. We got rejected from the 21 to the 50. But the moving averages are all still going in the right way. We haven't really dumped anything crazy. I would watch this level right here at about 106. You can see we had some, you know, we got a wick here to the top. We have price action here, break through, come down, bounce, bounce, bounce. So I would watch 106. And if we do lose 106, then I would be a little skeptical about us having a continuation run. So if we lose 106, we are probably going to come back down a little bit, and it may throw a wrench in the continuation of this little run up that we're having. Looking at SWE, looks like the 4 hour Stokes just flipped. They flipped. But when we go out to the daily on a lot of these altcoins, all the Stokes are reset. All the RSIs are pointing up. We're still in this channel on SWE. Cardano, come on. Cardano, same thing. Still in the falling channel. Stokes reset. RSI pointed to the upside. XRP, we are coming to a decision point on XRP. So it's going to have to make a decision on this like falling wedge right here. This isn't it's not a descending triangle, because obviously the bottom would be flat on a descending triangle. To me, this is more of a falling wedge. And we were trying to, it looks like it was going to lose the 200 on the daily. We did get back above it in the past couple hours. We kind of closed right here. Boom, we're back above it. But same with the rest of them. Stokes are reset, pointing back to the upside. Ondo, Stokes are reset, pointing back to the upside. So, I mean, I think we're looking good. FET is a little different. FET, the Stokes are starting to get up there, and we are attempting to break this 200 again. We hit it here last week, got rejected, and now we're attempting it again. So it would be nice to be able to break this, and then we'd be looking at 109 and looking for FET to take off. So there we are. I'm bullish for sure.
I'm ready for the price to go up some more. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Definitely like the price to go up a little more. So,
and then I think
doesn't mean, go ahead.
I was gonna say after that, then we might see ADA pump.
We might. ADA kind of does its own thing, right?
I just think it always does it after everything else. And then it
just like we said before, though, keep in mind the summer is coming. Yes. The summer is coming. Summers are almost always bearish. Think of all the last summers. Some of you guys, I know some of you guys have been in crypto just as long as us. Some probably been in longer than us. And just think back to all the different summers, or go on your chart and look back to all the summers. So,
absolutely.
But that's it.
That's all we got. We'll see you guys very soon. Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll find out. I think that I have it's not an 8-hour walk. Well, I mean, it is an 8-hour walk, but I think that I can bike it in 2 hours tomorrow morning to work. So
you better just pay that money, bro. Get that Uber. Tell somebody to pick you up, drive you home.
Sheesh.
That's the crappy thing. You gotta, because I know we were talking about how much it costs for an Uber, but you gotta weigh how much are you gonna make.
Not enough to
if
get
it doesn't offset the Uber, then yeah, obviously screw it. But if it's more than double the Uber, sometimes you just got to bite the bullet.
You're right. So. You're right. But anyways, fun, informative. Thank you guys, dude. Shout out to everybody today. We were squabbling, but we were just sharing ideas. So it was great. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
The thing is, John just believes the best in people, and I'm more of a cynic.
Something like that. But all right, like catch you all on the next one. Peace. Join us at Rare Evo, the top blockchain conference, August 6th through 10th, 2025, at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. The top blockchain projects like Algorand, Midnight, HBAR, ICP, Thorchain, and Igon, and many more are going to be there. This is definitely a must for blockchain enthusiasts and fans. Use discount code CryptoNightly to save on your tickets and to support the channel. Don't miss it. We can't wait to see you there. It's going to be a blast.